In this tutorial video, you'll learn how to add a shadow to the text in your Squarespace website. I'm Becca from Inside the Square, and as always, the codes I'm about to share with you are listed directly underneath this video. But there are lots of cool parts of this code that we can customize and change, so without further ado, I'll go ahead and share my screen to teach you exactly how to use these codes in Squarespace and how to make them uniquely yours. Let's get started. Here we are inside Squarespace, and to add this code to our website, I'm going to navigate to Pages on the left-hand side of the screen. Then I'll select Custom Code and then Custom CSS. If your menu doesn't look like mine, press the / key on your keyboard to navigate to your Custom CSS panel directly. Now here I'm going to paste the code that you'll find underneath this video, but we've got a lot to play with here. This basic code has created a text shadow for our Heading 1 text type. Text shadow codes work by having a horizontal offset, vertical offset, a spread, and a color. Those are the four main elements here, and let me show you exactly what that means. We have the horizontal offset to 5 pixels, so it's pushed 5 pixels to the right. If I make that a negative, our shadow is going to start on the left before the text. Positive pushes it to the right, negative pulls it to the left, okay? After that, we have the vertical offset. We have 5 px lower than the text. If I make that a negative, it'll raise the shadow. If I leave it as a positive, it'll lower the shadow. Then we have the spread at 10 px. If I pull this back to just be 0, we're going to get a duplication of the text. This is going to have a solid outline to it, no blur whatsoever. But if we change this to maybe 5 px, we'll get a little bit of a spread. 10 px will be even more dramatic. And then last but not least, we have the color. Here we're using the color red, a web-safe color name, but you can also use a hex color code if you want to, or even an RGBA color code to add a slight level of transparency to your shadow. Super customizable here, add whatever color code you see fit. It might seem like we're done with this tutorial, but there are 3 more things I want to teach you. The next is how to create a multi-level shadow. We can add a comma and create another layer of shadows for this text. How about we go for 10 px across the board and we make it yellow. Now we're going to get a second layer of shadow underneath our first layer. Now the first layer being slightly opaque, that makes it a little hard to see, so we'll go ahead and just change the text to purple so it's a bit more visible. Do you see how we have 2 colors of shadow showing up here? Pretty awesome, right? Now the second set of shadows can also be adjusted horizontally, vertically, and we can adjust the spread here as well, creating some really interesting effects. Now, to be honest, this is a little hard for me to read, so I'm going to go ahead and remove our second shadow here and go back to normal. There we go. We've got a purple drop shadow. Let's talk about 2 more tricks that you should know before we call this tutorial a wrap. What if you just want this text right here to have the shadow and nothing else on your website? We can isolate that individual content block by using its block ID in our code. There's a free Chrome extension that I love to use. I just turned it on. It's called the Squarespace ID Finder, and it instantly tells me the unique ID number for all of the content blocks on my website. This right here is the unique ID number for that featured product text. I'm going to copy this. I'll turn off the extension, and here inside my code, I'm going to replace the selector class H1 with the unique block ID. Now, only this text featured product is going to get that unique text shadow. It's not found anywhere else on my website. Scrolling down here, one last thing I wanted to teach you was how you can add a shadow to part of the text in a sentence. This right here is italicized text inside an H1 sentence. So instead of using a block ID, I'm going to say H1EM. This is telling the computer I only want this code to apply to the italicized text, which goes by emphasis or EM in our custom code. But there's one important thing we need to add to this code if we're going to use this technique. This text is still italicized. I want it to look like the rest of the sentence here. So I'm going to add a semicolon after my text shadow, and I'm going to say font style normal. And now that has reset the emphasis of the italicized text style here in my website. So we're only going to be adding a unique shadow effect to that italicized text. And again, this shadow won't be found anywhere else on my website. The only place we'll see it is when we have italicized text that's also an H1 text type. Underneath this video, you'll find the codes from this tutorial, as well as a link to that free Chrome extension, just in case you want to try that targeting technique. I'm Becca from Inside the Square, and I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, give it a like and let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about how to make Squarespace uniquely yours, let me know in the comments. I'd love to help. Thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have fun with your Squarespace website. Bye for now. Good news, Squarespacer! We finally have an AI that truly understands Squarespace. Meet Custom Cody. Built specifically for Squarespace users and trained on every nuance of the program, Custom Cody is your AI-powered assistant for effortless, expert-level Squarespace customization. Available now at CustomCody.com.